feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XI.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I'm living in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
That's right, you tell them, little buddy. You're listening to Late Night with Jerry Royce Live Worldwide right here on Positive Power, Double XI, Christian Media. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Late Night Radio with Shay Samuels. We have a special guest tonight. He's an artist. He's going to do a little testifying and talk about how he developed his music. Talk a little bit about the industry. You know how Shay roll. You know how she roll. All right, everybody, let's talk to Shay Samuels. What's up, Shay? How you doing? What's going on?
Hey, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide, a.k.a. the Batman. Happy Monday.
Yeah. It was a great Monday. It was a heater on the East Coast. How's it down in the South?
Oh, man, this heat is exhausting. Like, I was out walking probably about 30 minutes ago, and it's just exhausting. It's just hot.
Yeah, no, can't even get my steps in. Me and Mimi got to walk around back. Got to stay on the grass because, it's too hot for her little paws. But she don't care because she want to chase the little animals. She just want to get back. She trying to get these deers. Man. Yeah, little fawns. They call fawns, right? Is that the right name? It's some.
I don't know. What is it?
Fawn deers, the little baby deers. Well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she been messing with them lately, so she just want to go back there instead of going for our walk. She want to go back there and chase them.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Well, I mean, that gives her something to do at least. Y'all are on their territory, I always say, like, when the houses were built and all the trees came down, like we basically took. That means new construction is happening somewhere too, though.
Yeah, it's
pushing somewhere to go.
Yeah, they've been around for a minute, because that was all farm territory, woods and everything, and they're not messing with what's there. I guess because it's the county and the power lines and everything. So they kind of been, kind of spreading out again. You're starting to see the youngies. You do see some that don't make it across the street. But then you see, well, I haven't seen the babies on the street, but I've seen some of the adults that got hit, for the last few years. But it's been a minute since I've seen some young ones, in our community. So I guess they doing something happening.
Yeah, they got to, because I know when I was picking my oldest daughter up once in this apartment complex, and they had just built this new apartment complex next to where I was picking her up from. But we had to go into the new apartment complex to get her. Well, coming down the little driveway of the apartment complex, a deer, like, seriously was just walking down, like, the pavement. Wow. It wasn't scared. It didn't look like, it looked like, look, something used to be here that belonged to me.
That's right.
Funny. But I've never seen anything like it, though, because I'm so used to them just running, like, in back roads, Right. So they'll be walking down an apartment complex wide open in the middle of the day. That was crazy.
That's right. That's crazy. But before we turn the microphone over to you and you interview your guest, Mr. Billingsley, I guess I'm saying his name. The day's just one of them days. Batman was busy. I had a lot of calls. But anyway, before we do, we just want to give a shout out to Miss Wendy Royster. Anybody out there, any men, prayer warriors, you're looking to, be part of a 24-hour prayer line called 1,000 Men. I think they pray out to about 25,000 men right now. If you're interested, inbox me, or, you can hit up Miss Wendy Royster and I can get you in contact with her. She's looking for some more men that can pray. So we already have a few guys stepped up to the plate. So we're looking for some more. It's 24/7. It's on a network called PrayLive.com. I think it's PrayLive.com. Also, congratulations to Dr. V. Dr. V about to celebrate 50, I think it's 60 episodes or something 60 episodes. I've been losing track because I know Lakeisha about to celebrate 75 episodes soon, a few more weeks. So we have all these big numbers of podcasts is going out, and Dr. V got picked up on a brand new network that's out there, well invested, called Pray.com. So you can check her out, sitting next to Tony Evans, Dr. Tony Evans. So Dr. V moving up. Way out there.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Did My Journey just have an anniversary as well?
Yeah. We haven't aired the show actually yet because that's right, Paula G miscounted the episodes. Don't call her out.
Don't you call Paula G out. Lady Wisdom After Midnight, I got your back.
Paula G, a school teacher can't count, gave me the wrong numbers. So we're actually about to air episode 49 this week and then episode 50. But we'll put it back out there. It's okay. It's still a milestone. And yeah, I was cracking up. I said, wait a minute, it's not adding up right. Paula G, you can't count.
Either way, they're all amazing shows, and she is doing a fabulous job.
That's
so
right.
Shout out to Paula G, Lady Wisdom After Midnight.
And now she's wearing a little bit. She wearing my hat now. She has to do her own broadcast now from her home studio on her own, and under no direction of the Batman. So if you see something, just point the finger to her. So anyway, she did well. So I was impressed.
We're gonna point it at you, Batman. We're gonna point it at you. It's never us. It's always you.
It's always me. All right, but I'm gonna put a disclaimer at the end of the broadcast. But anyway, she did a great job. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy her commentary. You know, she's just bringing it. And until she's gonna be making her way to Baltimore soon. So don't panic, y'all. And also, I got a shout out to my daughter, Sky. Batman been struggling the last few weeks trying to get this puppet TV show going. But the problem was I needed a theater, so the puppeteers can, do their thing. But I just was having problems, building this thing. And Sky just shows up and just showed her the pictures, what I wanted, and bam, thing is up and running. All I got to do now is, just got to paint it. We done. We ready. But, they only got a few more weeks
Shout
before.
Out to Shy.
Yeah, she's doing things. And also, she's actually will be having 40 episodes before she go back to school. So far, it looks like some of the schools, colleges going to be opening up. That's under these big systems. But, I don't know, man. I don't think the public school is trying to have that. I don't think they trying to take their chance with these young kids, and especially the school teachers. You got to think about your staff. Kids can share germs, but adults can't always handle it. So So we'll see. All right, you ready to talk to your guest? I know I'm gonna mess up his last name.
Am.
Yeah, I know I'm probably mess up his last name. I didn't get to practice. What's up, Mr. Billingsley? Is that correct? Are we saying your name closely?
It looks like Billingsley.
Yeah, Billingsley.
Yep, she got it.
She got it.
Yep.
Billingsley.
What's up, y'all? How
Okay.
y'all
I
doing?
got you, Mr. Billingsley. I gotcha.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
All right, I'm just gonna be player safe and call Mr. David, the artist. How you doing, sir? Welcome, man.
I'm
Welcome.
good, man. Y'all talking about everything I'm going through. It sounds like.
Yeah, man. It's it's life for everybody, man. That's what Positive Power is about, man. Sharing, being transparent, let everybody know we all on the same page. We all in this together. There's hope at the end of the tunnel. Don't just breathe. Just breathe, y'all.
We're gonna be all right.
That's right. That's right. God got us. He just letting us go through this thing for a minute. So we be all right. But look, you guys have a great
come out stronger, better testimony, everything.
Yeah, we are. And I'm ready, man. I've been working. But look, man, you guys have a great show. I'm right here if you need me. Remember, Shay, just to let you know, Mr. Dave, we're not going to play your music on the program, but we have it in the link for the post. But you guys have for free to talk all about it and everything. Because we, lately, social media been kind of crazy about, the music that's coming out some of these publishing companies. So, but we just let the people know it's on our page.
And all that.
Yeah, so it's on our page, y'all. So check it out. All right.
Thanks, Jerry. Well, welcome everyone to the late night show, Jerry Royce Late Night Show. I am your co-host, Shay Samuels, and I'm excited to be back with you on this Monday As always, shout out to Paula G, Lady Wisdom After Midnight, for her filling in every other Monday. You guys get a chance to hear her gracious voice and words of wisdom every other Monday. So shout out to her and my radio sister, Lakeisha Mosley. I love you and miss you. Shout out to all of your episodes and to everyone who has an anniversary coming up on the Positive Power Network. Shout out to my family beyond the fence, always in the building. And you guys will be hearing so much more from us soon. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guest. You guys have heard a little bit of him, Mr. Billingsley. I'm going to give just a brief background of him and what he does, and we will ask him a little bit more of who he is. But first, let me personally say hello again.
Hey. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for being on with us. And it is amazing, again, an opportunity for us to get a chance to know more about you and the listeners to know who you are. You've done a lot in the music world and in the industry. You've had an opportunity to really work with some high esteemed artists and groups. So we're looking forward to hearing about that and also about your school. I have a lot of questions about people who have schools, and you actually have your own school from what I've read. So just want to know how you're dealing with that within the pandemic, but we'll get there. So let me go ahead and just read a bit of your bio. It says, it says that you are the founder and executive director of a school called the Billingsley School of Music and Arts, which provides intensive music education to K through 12 students who lack access to high-quality arts education. Billingsley is releasing his debut solo piano album on Friday, May 15th, entitled Hymns, but that should be past due, right? Or is that already done?
We released,
It's released, and I love the title of it, Hymns from Grandmom's Living Room.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it is, Yeah.
Yeah.
I told somebody that title. They was like, I like that. That's going to be good.
Yeah, because it brings like this home. When I saw it, I was like, oh, Hymns from, Grandmom's Living Room. I started thinking about my grandmother and my grandfather when I was younger. They used to actually practice rehearsal, and they used to have rehearsal in their living room. And all of us, the kids, my grandmother would be in the kitchen cooking her little chitterlings, and my aunt would be in there with her. And my grandfather would be out there with his group in the living room, and we'd just be running around, And so when I saw that, I was like, wow, that was very unique. So there's no, so take us back to that time. Take us back to your time, Hymns from Grandmom's Living Room.
Yes. Late 80s, early 90s. Grew up with my grandparents. I was a PK basically, and that was the life they lived their whole lives. My grandfather was a minister. My grandma was a school teacher, but superintendent. She did all the plays, Easter speeches, all the music. She got me my first gig playing Happy Birthday at Sunday school. Exactly right. She sang. She played a little piano. My grandpa played a little piano. Yet they all dabbled in the piano, and they sang too. Just like you said, there was a piano in the house, an upright piano, thank God. And we sang every day, and we worshiped, and I learned how to play. I tinkered around, and it just started to happen. And so singing with Grandma, I literally can hear her voice every time I hear the music. And a lot of other people say they can hear their grandmas when they hear it too.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting.
Yes. So when I think about my grandmother, I think about she would always sing, I know it was the blood. She just always sang that. I know it was. But when I sang it, I think about her sitting on the she was on the platform, and this is when they had like 3 big chairs in the back. They had 3 chairs sitting on the stage, and my grandmother was in the middle, and she would have her robe on, and I always remember her in this white robe with the red cross and the red cuff links or whatever. And she would sit back, and her head would just be swaying back. And I don't know what it is about hearing your grandmother's songs and singing them, but also imagining what they were doing at the time.
Exactly.
Amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. So you said your grandmother was a teacher. So is that how you ended up opening a school, or was that something that you just...
I think that comes from her. She raised me she taught me all my life, flashcards, everything. She was a school teacher, and I think I caught it.
Yeah. What I love about it is that you are doing something for the community. It's nothing like just giving, people become teachers for their own reasons, but there's a difference between being a teacher with a resource. So how did you come about, being that teacher that was going to do something to educate the K through 12 students who lack access to high quality arts education? Because we know that they're not doing music schools anymore, or music classes in certain schools anymore. So how did you come up with that concept?
I just saw the need and the lack of, being a kid in Racine, Wisconsin, where I'm at right now. It's one of the worst places for Black people in America. And there just weren't resources for us here. We're like number 3. So there just weren't resources here. It was very unequal, uneven. And the people I knew, all the people I grew up with, they didn't play piano. They weren't in rehearsals all the time. They weren't going back and forth to lessons and competitions, and that wasn't the reality. They didn't go to college for music, or they don't have a profession in the arts. A lot of them, some of them do, but very few. And so I started to see something was wrong with that picture as a kid. At the age of like 13, I was like, I want to start a school for kids. Like, I knew at that age because of what I was experiencing in my world, in my life.
Wow.
There was no mirror, there was no reflection of me anywhere. I had to, play classical music, I had to do this or that, but nothing spoke to me or showed me myself. I didn't even know there were other Black classical composers until I went to college, So, there was just a lot that wasn't shared, And so I realized that because of that, I have to do something about that. And since then, I've just been trying to give people lessons wherever they need it at and whatever they need, and trying to just provide them access to this. It's not easy, though, because this is every week for like 12, 13, 14 years. That's discipline. It takes a lot of work. And a lot of, with our instant culture now, it can be a challenge. But the kids who are serious about it, those are the kids we're focused on now. And so that's what it came out of, just seeing lack and not seeing, there was no kids of color in none of my college classes.
Yeah, and that's where it starts, really, because you do get a chance you see the lack, you see the need, and you end up having to fill that need. And I know that it costs, though. I know, do you have sponsors? Do you have people who endorse, or how do you have, the funds come in? Let the listeners know in case they're interested in even sewing into your program.
Yeah, bsoma.org is the website, basoma.org. And all the information is there about our story, how to donate. You can donate online. We've been a nonprofit since 2013, so it's been a little bit now, 7 years in the game. The way we raise money is just by telling people about who we were, sharing our mission, sharing our dream and our hopes for our community. And then people in the community just came on board. Gary Hines, founder of the Sounds of Blackness, he was on our board when we first started. All of these prominent Black people that do all the stuff for the Twin Cities, like Princess, basically, it's everybody. We're one community here in the Twin Cities for that, for the arts and stuff. And so I reached out to them, and they came through. Actors, mental health people, judges, all kind of, leaders. And then they just kind of bought into what I was doing. They saw the importance of it for our community and our kids, and we've been putting money behind it ever since. We've probably raised a good $80,000 to $100,000 now in funds. Throughout the years. But it's just not being afraid and asking people and letting them know, like, listen, this isn't right now. Only 2% of our teachers in Minnesota are of color, so our kids aren't going to get access to us. So what can we do? How can we be a pipeline to make sure that kids see themselves in what they're learning? So we're just trying to. It's like an intensive surgery, like just trying to really get into some of these schools and make a difference. So we're in South Minneapolis and North Minneapolis, the two cities that got hit the worst with the George Floyd tragedy. Where they came in and blew up all of our gas stations and our businesses and everything. So both of those communities that's right where I work every day. I'm walking around, I see buildings blown up, basically. It's just rubble. and we're building from there now. And so, that's where God has called me to. It's one of the best places for education and worst in Minnesota. We have some of the richest people and some of the poorest, so our gap is the biggest for children of color. And so I'm right in the belly of that well. So right in North Minneapolis, off of Broadway, in the hood, teaching all our kids, and trying to just show them, yo, if you keep playing, if you keep practicing, if you keep working on it, you can be out here with Stokely traveling the world, and your gift making room for you everywhere you go.
Yes,
yes. And so that's the message.
Talking about your gift-making room, too, during your college years, you did professionally play in the Twin Cities, and I see here where you were actually playing for Grammy-winning artists like Sounds of Blackness, and you had mentioned Sounds of Blackness, which is funny because I was talking about Sounds of Blackness today with someone, and this is the second time that I'm seeing their name in one day. So third time's a charm.
We got to talk about it.
So tell us about that experience.
Yeah, Gary Hines is the founder. He went to school with my dad in college. They played on the same football team. My dad just passed away last week, so prayers up for that.
Sorry, our love for sure.
Yeah, thank you. But had that relationship with Gary, and he knew I was in Twin Cities. I just hit him up, and they were going to Japan, and they had some shows coming up, and he extended the offer. I had to do a little audition, and then I was out in Japan with him, touring and playing across the country. And playing other shows too here at home and different things that they had going on. So, it's an honor to be able to do that kind of work and to be even considered in the Twin Cities. I think my name David Billingsley, and my dad has the same name, so that might have been a little advantage for me. But and he's like my uncle. He calls me nephew. It's family. It's like real, like it's real in Minnesota. Like it's not a lot of us. People don't think it's black people in Minnesota. There are.
They say
a lot of us,
but
see, you see. Yeah, so it's not a lot of us, but the ones that are there, we band together. It's really it's a family, man, for real.
It's amazing. The rolling theme that I hear from you, though, Mr. Billingsley, is that you really are not afraid to ask. The Bible says that if you ask, you shall receive. Knocking, the doors will open. Seeking, you shall find. And so the rolling theme here is that you are just not afraid to ask. You understand the power of just opening up your mouth. And it seems every time you do that the resources come. So I do want you to encourage someone tonight with that before we go into any other questions. But just, in your time and just kind of even in your, this season, somebody's probably thinking, I need the resources, especially during this pandemic, but I need the resources and I don't know how. So encourage someone in what you've done just growing up and how successful it has been. They've heard how successful it is for you, but encourage someone in that tonight.
No fear. Avoid the fear frequency because it's just fear. We're scared of the unknown and what is in us and our potential. But we just can't have fear. We just got to do it. Just do it. Whatever it is, just start. It's not going to be perfect. We have this crazy image in our head of this beautiful, amazing thing, and it is that, and it will become that. But you got to start with flour and milk and, all of those ingredients and build up. It takes years. But get started. Get started on whatever it is you want to do in life. And don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to put out a website. Don't be afraid to put out a CD. I just put out an album. I'm 35. I should have been doing this. I just did my first one. Just do it, whatever it is. I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't be on this conversation with you right now if that wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have had a private audition with Prince if we wouldn't have put out an album. He wouldn't have ever heard us. We never would have went to Paisley Park. So, it's just all those, just don't be afraid of what it is that's in you. You have to show the world. And if you don't know how to market, find somebody. If you don't know how to set up an LLC or get registered with your state, hit me up. If there's something you need on the lawyer end, whatever it is, there are steps, but you can do it. You just need a logo person, graphic design, marketing, just set it up. It's possible though. It's just in getting started. Get a logo and get your name going first. And then everything else just starts to snowball from there, really.
Yeah, that's my
favorite. But it's important to have that vision.
Yeah. Go ahead,
and
Mr.
you can
Billy.
do it, and you can make it, and like I'm doing this with a lot of stuff. Like my dad just passed. I've had a lot of hard times, as a musician. With Stokely, we're not working right now. We're not touring like we were, and so it's hard, but it's like, in spite of it being hard, now is the best time ever. To show the world who you are, show the world what you can do, show the world what you have to offer, because somebody is listening, somebody is watching, and somebody is going to resonate with somebody, and that's all that you need. It's not about
that
a big
one person.
audience. Yeah, go small. Start with intention. Start with power, and focus on these 10.
Wow, I like you. I like that you said. Focus. Did you say focus on intention?
Yeah. Focus on intention and focus on like 10 people. Focus on get your disciples. That's all you need. Jesus had 12. Find them, and then from there, everything else multiplies, and you can spread, your message to the whole world. But start small.
Yeah.
And I even started a little too big when I first started my school. I wanted so much that it was like it was kind of hit and miss. But then once I found, okay, I have to narrow my focus. I have to decide what it is exactly I want to do. I have to know how I'm going to stand out, and I have to know who my audience is. And once you have that stuff, you go get it. But it starts with creating. You got to sit down and just work.
I love that you said that. You said you started off big. You started off, you had this big, it's like eating. I'm the type of person where like my eyes are bigger than my belly. So like I see everything.
Order 2-3 things when you shouldn't. And a dessert.
Let me tell you, I have like 5 plates sitting there, and in my mind, while I'm walking to that table, I promise you, I am going to eat every bit of this steak, meatloaf, hash brown, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, green beans, peach cobbler, pecan pie with the whipped cream, the bowl of strawberries on the side.
Okay, now I got to eat. It's time to eat.
And you know what I do? I just drink the water with the lemon and mint and be done.
See? And then it don't even taste all that good like you thought it was going to be, right? Oh, this ain't all that. That's the same with your dreams. It's the same with your dreams. You know what I mean? You're going to start doing things like, I'm not that good at this, actually. This isn't what I'm supposed to do. And that's going to happen, too. And you just keep reinventing yourself, keep testing things, keep trying. You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
I work with Stokely. Yeah. That's what I see in him. He's like an independent artist now. He just keeps going. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
Can I say?
You hit the nail on the head though, because there's so many things that happen when we are visionaries, and what gets us hung up is just we're so talented in multiple things. And we want to try to tackle everything in 1 week, and we're not perfecting just that one thing. We have a lifetime. And when you start looking at it that way, we have a lifetime. So if you took 30 days to just perfect that one thing, and then another 30 days to watch the results of it, it's like working out. When you first start working out, it is the hardest thing in the world, because especially for people who haven't done it in a while. So you go in, and I promise you, if you haven't worked out in a while, and it depends on your weight, it depends on like your condition, but once you walk in and you see the people who've been doing it for a long time, you will be fearful of them, not realizing that maybe a month before you, they probably were the same way.
Exactly.
I know that because I did it. I know it because I did it. So you have tackled a lot of things in your lifetime. And so you did mention the album, but then you also followed up with the sophomore album as well. So talk to us about that one. Did you follow up with that one?
Yeah, House of David. We just released it last week. The first 3 songs got released for Dad, for Mom, and House of David. But yeah, we released that. And it's coming out July 31st on all platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, everywhere. You can just grab it. It'll be on YouTube as well, and on my website, BILLINGLEYmusic.com. That's the hub where you can find everything you need. But yeah, like, honestly, I went into the studio a year ago, and I spent 8 hours in there, and I made hymns from Grandma's living room in 4 of those hours, and I had an extra 4 hours. So I just sat down and kept playing, and we just kept recording, and that is basically, and that this stuff was just things that just came to my heart at that moment. Just pure inspiration, nothing preconceived or practiced, just kind of let it be. And, yep. And so that's what happened on this album. It's more just all instrumental piano music, kind of meditative, vibey, chill. People will probably study with it, ride with it, nature stuff. It's really good for all that. And I'm learning now, people need music for different things. Everybody ain't trying to bop and jop all the time. Like there's a time for that. But sometimes people don't want to hear all those voices. They don't want to hear all the screaming. They don't want to hear all the whatever it is. And it gives them a chance to kind of zone out and enter a different kind of space. And even just worship God or reflect, pray, meditate, whatever it is, And so these instrumentals kind of give people that opportunity. So we'll see what happens with it. It's different, everything. I feel very vulnerable, just a piano. I don't have strings and I don't have all this stuff going on, but I kind of wanted to start my career like I started it in childhood with just the piano, me and my grandma, in the living room and putting it out that way. And let's go from there. You guys can hear everything else I have. There's definitely a symphony orchestra in me, but that's coming. You know what I mean? I just, like I said, it's the crawl, walk, run. It's just all about taking your time. And eventually that ball just keeps rolling and it gets bigger and bigger. And then you're not even pushing anymore. It's just growing on its own.
Yeah. The thing I love again about what you're saying is you were very free flowing. So it's just kind of, I just put myself out there and I do what God is calling me to do. I do what I enjoy doing, what I'm passionate about. And like you said, you just watch that ball just keep growing. The hardship with most people, especially artists, is that we try too hard. We have a vision in our head for what we want it to look like, and we get frustrated when things don't look like it. We're not meeting the right people. But I have identified with what you're doing is just living life and just free flowing and just allowing God to do what was already planned for me to do. Because I can plan something and guess what? It's not going to go that way. So thank you for encouraging them in that. I do have another question for you. Actually, I have two questions because this is going by really fast. So I'm going to try to get most of my questions in. So this next question is peanut butter and jelly or bologna and cheese?
Bologna and cheese. Grandma would fry that bologna in that iron skillet, put some cheese on it, a little mayo, lettuce, cut that mug up, put that in my lunch.
We're making people hungry.
I'm a meat eater. I like meat, potatoes, and stuff. A little bag of potato chips, a Capri Sun. I'm good.
I was about to say, you got to have a side to go with it. So what's your side?
That's funny.
Sour cream and onion, barbecue, or plain?
Ooh, probably sour cream and onion. I wasn't a plain Jane. Sour cream and onion. Barbecue was cool sometimes, but I got to be in the mood for that.
Okay. Lemonade, iced tea, or Arnold Palmer?
Arnie Palmer every day of the week. That's the best drink on the planet. I drink, that's my, wherever I go, that's what I get. And it's nice because I like it with the unsweetened too because it balances it out. I'm trying to be a little more healthy and not get diabetes and all that.
I'll have to try that the next time because I do like it sweet, but I never thought about the unsweetened tea because the lemonade will sweeten it up. So bologna and cheese fried with a bag of sour cream chips and an Arnold Palmer.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
So if you ever take him out
gummy
on
bears.
a date and go
and a slushie. Everything got to be a slushie. I'm a slushie fanatic. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You like to eat.
I love. Yes, I'm a foodie, and my dad was too. Yeah,
you are a foodie. So if you're ever going to take him out for lunch to talk some bit of business, you know that you are going to have to homemake this. You cannot go to a TGI Fridays. You can't go to a Chicken Peach. You cannot go to none of those
3-star Michelin. I prefer a 3-star Michelin. Stokely make fun of me all the time. Here go 3-star Michelin.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's a cheap date. People don't even realize how cheap you really be. Now, I do like my bologna and cheese with noodles. Like I like the ramen noodles to go with.
I ain't never thought about that before.
Yes, it's so good, and it depends. So I'm picky with it too, because it's like I can do the bologna and cheese, but with the bologna and cheese, I have to have chicken noodles. But with my peanut butter and jelly, I'm sorry, with my peanut butter and jelly, I have to have shrimp noodles. It's crazy. I don't know how that works, but it's just kind of like that sweet, tangy, and
sweet and savory and all of that.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. But I also heard, so off of the food, we done made everybody hungry with my 4 plates at the table, and
we talking about a lot of food today.
But guess what? We are our grandmama's babies.
Yeah, hey, and they threw down. Me and my cousin had a little grandma's home cooking is good.
Oh my goodness!
You for real had a little song. It was hilarious.
I love it. So I also heard that you have possibly met Tall Guy, the YouTuber.
Tall Guy?
I don't know.
I was just asking.
Ask him.
Who is that?
No, I was just asking. No, Shay, I was asking. I wanted you to ask him. Did he know Tall Guy?
I gotta look now. Let me look real quick.
Everybody's gonna be looking up Tall Guy, the YouTuber, instead of you.
I know, right?
So he has not met Tall Guy, the YouTuber. Stay focused on the broadcast and look David.
No, I haven't. I see him though, but no, I haven't. No.
Oh well, I have to. Now we have to meet him, and if you do, we have to meet him together. That's kind of that, like, you know, we have like that kin of kin thing now. My pinky finger's out, which means that you have to grab it and say that you won't meet him without me.
Hey, I can't make no promises, but all right.
Well,
don't be having us in some crazy places sometimes. Yeah.
So tell us about your family. So you said you grew up in a home where everyone was singing. Like, did you have, like, was it, for me, it was my aunts, my uncles, my dad, my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of just had that, like, Jackson 5 experience, and we have figures. They were quartets, though. So talk to us about that, growing up in the home where everyone's singing.
Yeah, because they all grew up in church. All seven of my grandma's kids grew up in church, and so the aunts and uncles, the cousins. It's more informal for us though. We just be at the house. We ain't had no groups. We wasn't gigging and we wasn't out here working like that. But we did sing around the house, especially at church. And then sometimes I would just get on the piano and we would get it in that way as well. I think it was like a few years before my grandma passed that we had our like final sing along thing. We still remember it actually to this day.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. And
it's amazing. What was your favorite song growing up? What was your favorite hymn?
Man, that's tough. My favorite hymn, probably Great Is Our Faithfulness. I love What a Friend We Have in Jesus. I love Israel with my soul. I love Praise God from Whom All Blessings Flow. I love Doxology. There's so many. They're so dope. Like hymns are dope. I think if you they're just dope to me. Like they're old and stuff, but like they have so much meaning. The words and the verses are so powerful. Like we don't even write like that no more, really. So it's
That's
just.
what I was gonna say too.
It was a time. It was you just and they never get old, and they always bring back memories, and especially with our heritage. It brings back those Sunday dinners. It brings back grandma. It brings back church. It brings back her being in a recliner crying and singing praises to God, hands lifted, after a while, because it got for real.
Yeah. You start off that way. That's exactly how it was. We would be practicing, and my grandfather would be up and he'd be at the mic. Nicodemus, he went, and everybody would just start. They go in harmony, and my grandmother said, "Sing, Lionel."
and people see. Phones are gone. The technology is, and it's people to people, heart to heart. Like one guy, one sound, one audience. Like it's just nothing else. Like that is a spaceship that gets you off of this planet into the frequencies of God. For real.
Yeah, it definitely takes you back. So for me, this interview was personal because we both have that grandma experience, and I'm sure there are some listeners that have that same experience growing up in the house of your grandmothers and having those Saturday, evening. Because we used to do it in the lawn too. Did you guys do it in the lawn?
Oh yeah, yep, everywhere. The church,
See, that was
we had a little
Shout
yard house next door, at the house, wherever. We would play church. We just did everything.
Your cousins play church when church, you having your own like children's church while they doing their thing in the back.
And you got the one that can mimic every single person, and it's just hilarious. You just crack up. They know everybody shout, everybody praise.
Now, did you live in because I just kind of like in the country. Did y'all live like in the country or was it in the city?
It was a city, a small city though, 60,000, so not a big city.
Yeah. But everybody knew one another, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was definitely, this interview was personal for me just because of the experiences that you have had growing up. And I love being able to share those experiences with you. And I want you guys to go out to support there's two. There's the album, the solo piano album, or the piano. You debuted the solo piano album, but then you followed up with another one, the sophomore. And I want you guys to support it. Can you please let the listeners know once again where they can get your music?
Yes, BILLINGLEYmusic.com is where you go. BILLINGSLEY music.com. Google David Billingsley. We're on Spotify. We are on Google Play. We are everywhere. So iTunes, just look for us and we'll be there, David Billingsley. Yep.
Amen. I really, really appreciate it. And just so you guys know, that the debut solo album, piano album is already released. And then there's the House of David Volume 1 that will be released in July on the 31st, you said?
Yep. We're going to release the music video. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. July 31st. I want you guys to be on the lookout for that. And do not forget the school, the Billingsley School of Music and Art. This young man is sewing into students K through 12. He is giving the opportunity of access to high quality arts and education because we just don't have it everywhere. And so there are a number of people, celebrities in his community who are coming together to help to sew into that as well. And you can get all that information off of his website to sew into that. But it was definitely a pleasure for me to get a chance to meet with you. I hope to meet you soon face to face. After all the pandemic stuff is over, we definitely have to connect, but I will connect with you on your social handles as well. Did you give everyone your social handles, Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, David Billingsley Keys is my Instagram. Facebook is David Billingsley Keys as well. Twitter is Bills on Keys, a little different, but yeah.
One will lead you
Those
to
are my handles. Yep, exactly. You'll find me.
You will find him. And remember, the music is actually to the link on the Facebook page, Jerry Voice Live Worldwide. Well, Jerry Voice Live, and then also on mine, Shay Sams. And if you shared it, David, then you probably will have that on yours as well. But you'll be able to stream the music on by hitting the link on the promotion that we have been sharing. But again, this has been a pleasure for me to interview you, talk about the business, talk about your school, talking about growing up. We talked about food pretty much all night, so people are probably hungry. If you are not supposed to be eating past the 9 o'clock hour, please do not eat past your curfew. Yeah. Do not eat past your curfew and then blame us.
Drink water. You'll be right in the morning.
Get that glass of water. But it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And I do have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power?
I feel it.
Yes, I can feel. Okay. I go, no.
I feel it.
That's not who we are.
Oh,
you got to do better than that. I would do this again. Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power?
I feel the power.
Yes.
That's hilarious. I love it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with Late Night with Jerry Live Worldwide and Shay Samuel. I messed that up. Shay Samuel. That's what they talking about food. That man's hungry. All right, we appreciate Mr. David for joining us tonight. Please go out there and check out his website. It's a beautiful website. Go out to bsoma.org. Again, B like bacon, SOMA. That's like bsoma.org. Check them out. Make a donation. Keep music alive in Minnesota. All right. Shout out to Tall Guy. Yeah, he's a fun guy. He's also motivated. And all his friends are millionaires. That's right. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Positive Power with XI Christian Media. Please don't forget, starting at 10 o'clock every morning, the encore. You catch all of the shows that you missed or you missed some of it. Just come on out to positivepower.org and get all of the links. Positivepower21.org, that is. Find out where to get all the links at. We're on YouTube at Jerry Voice Live, and also you can get us on Spreaker Radio, Spotify, for all your on-demand, iHeart, Apple, and some of the newer ones that's out there. So check this out. All right, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please share the file. We love you. Take care. I'm Batman of Charm City and Shay coming out of Georgia. Amen.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XI.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.